You just shocked heaven. God says, a divine reward is coming because of your action. Don't skip. You did not reach this moment by accident. Heaven became silent for a reason, and the reason is connected to the choice you made when nobody was watching. I am speaking to you now because your faithfulness moved something eternal, and if you leave too quickly, you may miss the very answer your soul has been begging for during sleepless nights and silent tears. A reward is being prepared because you obeyed, even while feeling weak, and what is about to unfold around your life will carry proof that I never abandoned you. The pain you carried in private was seen, the sacrifice you made was counted, and the obedience you thought nobody noticed has already been written before heaven. Type Amen if you believe. You thought your small act meant nothing because the world stayed quiet after you gave your kindness, your patience, your forgiveness, or your last bit of strength. But heaven does not measure actions the way people do. I saw the moment you chose love over revenge, truth over deception, and faith over fear. That single action reached farther than you realize, and now I am sending a response that will touch areas of your life that looked delayed, broken, and forgotten. What you did in obedience created movement in places you cannot yet see. There is a reason your spirit has felt different lately. You have been sensing pressure, emotion, and strange moments of reflection because your season is changing. I am removing old burdens that stayed attached to your heart for too long. The doors that resisted you will not resist forever because I am standing before you, preparing a path that no enemy can close. Stay close to these words because what comes next is deeply connected to your future. If this is touching your heart deeply, take a moment to like this video because someone else may also need this reminder before their breakthrough arrives. Many people expected you to quit after everything you survived. They watched your exhaustion and assumed your hope would collapse under pressure. Yet you continued walking with faith even while carrying hidden wounds. That decision shook heaven, because perseverance born from pain carries a sound that reaches directly into eternity. I am rewarding the endurance you showed when nobody applauded you for continuing. You cried alone and still chose to trust me. You lost opportunities and still refused to become bitter. You faced rejection and still kept your heart soft instead of turning cold. Those moments mattered more than you know because they revealed the true condition of your spirit. While others looked only at appearances, I was looking directly at your heart. The divine reward coming toward you is not random luck. It is not an accident or coincidence. It is a response to faithfulness that remained alive under pressure. I am preparing restoration in places where disappointment tried to convince you that nothing good would ever happen again. What looked delayed is being repositioned for the right moment. There are blessings connected to your obedience that will arrive unexpectedly. One conversation will carry unusual favor. One opportunity will suddenly appear after a long season of silence. One moment of peace will replace years of confusion and emotional heaviness. I am placing my hand over your future, and what I bless cannot be cursed by human opinion. Type 777 to receive blessings. The enemy wanted you distracted before hearing this because truth destroys fear. For too long you believed your efforts were invisible. You wondered if your prayers were rising beyond the ceiling or disappearing into emptiness. But every tear, every whispered prayer, and every act of quiet obedience was collected before heaven. Nothing was wasted, and nothing escaped my sight. I watched you help others, while secretly needing help yourself. I watched you encourage people, even while your own heart felt tired. That kind of love carries power because it reflects the character I planted inside you. The world celebrates loud strength, but heaven honors faithful endurance. Your reward is being shaped through the very struggles that tried to break you. Do not ignore the changes beginning around you. Certain relationships are shifting because I am separating you from voices that drained your peace. Some delays are ending because the timing for your next season has arrived. There are people preparing to respect you after misunderstanding you for a long time. There are opportunities moving toward your hands that were impossible to reach before now. You have been asking me for proof that your life still carries purpose. This is your confirmation. The fact that you survived what should have destroyed you is already evidence of my hand upon your life. Many times you stood close to emotional collapse, but I strengthened you when nobody else understood your pain. I kept you breathing through battles you never spoke about publicly. Now I am leading you into a season where your inner healing will begin affecting your outer life. Peace will start replacing panic. Confidence will begin replacing fear. Hope will begin replacing exhaustion. I am not only restoring circumstances around you, I am restoring the person inside you who became tired from carrying too much for too long. Do not return to the mindset that says you are forgotten. Forgotten people do not receive warnings, guidance, comfort, and divine direction like this. Forgotten people do not survive attacks that were designed to remove them completely. I protected you because your story is still unfolding. I preserved you because your life still carries assignment and meaning. The reward coming to you may not arrive exactly how you imagined, but it will arrive in the form your soul truly needs. Some blessings will bring financial stability. Some blessings will restore emotional peace. Some blessings will reconnect broken relationships. Others will open doors that completely redirect your future. What matters is that my hand is involved in every detail. Why are over 19,547 people suddenly attracting unexpected wealth? Because they started using a strange 9-word password discovered in neuroscience research. People are using it from their couch and reporting unexpected bank deposits, cleared debts, and upgraded lives. Scientists say it activates a 150-million-year-old part of your brain that controls abundance. Harvard-backed, lab-tested, life-changing. This password was quietly used by elites until a neuroscientist leaked it. Now it's spreading fast and could be taken down any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. Stay humble while the changes begin unfolding. Do not allow bitterness from the past to poison the season ahead of you. The people who hurt you do not control your destiny. The failures behind you do not define your future. I am writing a new chapter, and this chapter will carry evidence of grace, restoration, and unexpected favor. There were moments when you almost gave up completely. You smiled around others while carrying silent pain that nobody truly understood. Your nights became heavy with overthinking, and your heart grew tired from waiting for change. Yet even inside those moments, you still whispered prayers and searched for hope. That quiet faith reached heaven in ways your mind cannot fully understand. Type yes to affirm. I am preparing you for a season where your tears will no longer feel wasted. You have cried enough over doors that refuse to open and people who failed to value your heart. You have spent enough time blaming yourself for things that were never your fault to carry. Now I am teaching you how to release the weight that kept your spirit trapped in fear and sadness. Freedom is beginning to rise inside you again. The enemy tried to convince you that delay meant denial. He whispered that silence meant abandonment and that hardship meant I had forgotten your name. But the truth is that I was strengthening you during the waiting season. I was shaping wisdom inside you that could not grow during comfort alone. What felt like isolation was often protection, because I was separating you from environments and people that would have damaged your future. Some of the greatest blessings in your life are arriving after painful endings because certain chapters had to close before new doors could appear. You cried over losses that later protected you from destruction. You mourned relationships that were quietly draining your peace and weakening your spirit. You begged for situations to work while heaven was trying to rescue you from hidden pain. Now you are beginning to understand that my protection does not always feel comfortable at first. The reward coming toward you carries healing inside it. This is not only about material increase or visible success. I am restoring your confidence after seasons of rejection. I am rebuilding your peace after long periods of anxiety and emotional heaviness. I am reminding your heart that your future is not cursed by your past mistakes. Grace still surrounds your life. There are people who underestimated you because they only saw your struggle. They watched your weakness but failed to recognize the strength I was building inside you. They thought your delays meant failure and your silence meant defeat. Yet what they called weakness was actually preparation. What they mocked was quietly becoming the foundation for your next season. Type 1212 if you trust in Jesus. Do not become impatient now that change is approaching. Some blessings require spiritual maturity so they can be carried correctly. If I released everything too early, certain things could have harmed you instead of helping you. That is why timing matters in ways you may not always understand. I was never punishing you through delay. I was protecting the blessing from being destroyed before its proper season. You have entered a moment where your spiritual eyes must remain open. Pay attention to the shifts happening around your life. Certain conversations will suddenly carry unusual importance. Opportunities will appear where you least expected them. New peace will begin entering your thoughts after years of emotional noise. These changes are connected to the reward I promised you. I know there were nights when fear tried to consume your thoughts completely. You wondered how you would survive financially, emotionally, and mentally. You worried about the future while carrying wounds from the past. Still, I kept providing strength for each day. Even when your faith felt small, I continued holding you together because my hand remained upon your life. The action that shocked heaven was not perfection. It was obedience in the middle of weakness. You kept choosing kindness while hurting. You kept choosing honesty while others lied around you. You kept praying while your answers seemed delayed. Heaven pays attention to those moments because they reveal the true condition of the soul. You are not weak because you became emotional. You are not failing because you became tired. The pressure you faced would have broken many people completely. Yet you are still here, still breathing, still searching for hope, and still listening for my voice. That alone is evidence that I am sustaining you through every storm. Do not allow past disappointments to harden your heart. Now that blessings are approaching, some people become so wounded by previous pain that they stop recognizing new opportunities when they arrive. I want your heart healed enough to receive what is coming next. Bitterness cannot carry the future I prepared for you. Fear cannot hold the promises I am placing into your life. I am restoring your ability to dream again. For too long, survival became your main focus. You stopped expecting joy because disappointment kept visiting your life repeatedly. But your story is changing now. Hope is returning because I am breathing new life into areas that felt dead and forgotten. There are hidden battles taking place around your destiny that you cannot fully see. The enemy fought hard to keep you distracted, discouraged, and emotionally exhausted because he feared what would happen once you understood your true value. He knew that healed faith becomes dangerous to darkness. He knew that once you recognized my presence in your life, your fear would begin losing power. You are stepping into a season where confidence will rise naturally inside you. Not pride, but quiet assurance that I am walking beside you. You will stop begging for acceptance from people who never respected your spirit. You will stop chasing validation from those who only appreciated you when you were useful to them. I am teaching you how to stand securely in the identity I gave you. The reward approaching your life will also expose certain truths. Some people around you celebrated your failures privately while pretending to support you publicly. Others disappeared when your life became difficult because their loyalty was never genuine. Do not become angry when these truths surface. Exposure is part of protection because I refuse to let hidden deception follow you into your next season. Can 9 simple words really change your financial life? More than 19,000 people have already used it to erase debt and unlock a life of wealth, freedom, and peace. Brain experts were shocked when they discovered this password works up to 20x faster than the law of attraction. People are repeating it daily and watching money flow like water into their lives. Some even believe the results are so powerful, it feels divine. But this breakthrough is already under legal pressure and could disappear any second. Click the link in the description and comments before it's gone. There is also restoration coming into your home, your mind, and your future. I am repairing areas of your life that looked permanently damaged. I am lifting burdens that stayed on your shoulders for too long. I am making room for peace where confusion once lived constantly. You are not entering another season of endless struggle. You are entering a season where my presence will become clearer than ever before. There were days when you questioned your own worth because rejection surrounded your life repeatedly. People misunderstood your intentions, overlooked your loyalty, and failed to appreciate the love you carried inside your heart. That pain left wounds deeper than you admitted openly. Still, you continued choosing compassion instead of hatred. That choice reached heaven more powerfully than you realize. Type 222 if you trust God. I know how many times you felt emotionally abandoned. I saw the nights when your mind became filled with fear about the future. You worried that your life would never improve and that your struggles would continue forever. But the season ahead of you will not look like the season behind you. I am bringing change that will slowly restore your confidence, your hope, and your inner peace. You are not being punished by the delays you experienced. Some things were postponed because your spirit needed preparation before receiving them. Other doors remained closed because hidden dangers stood behind them. You cried over opportunities that disappeared without realizing they would have drained your peace and damaged your purpose. My protection often worked quietly while you mistook it for rejection. The action that shocked heaven came from the sincerity inside your heart. You obeyed me when bitterness could have easily taken control of your life. You chose to forgive when revenge felt easier. You continued helping people while secretly needing encouragement yourself. Heaven notices those moments because they reveal strength that cannot be faked. Many people only remain faithful when blessings arrive quickly. But you continued believing while walking through confusion and uncertainty. You kept searching for light even when darkness surrounded your thoughts. That kind of perseverance creates movement in the spiritual world. Your obedience became a testimony before heaven. There are blessings moving toward you that cannot be stopped by human resistance. No opinion, jealousy, or criticism can block what I already prepared for your future. The people who doubted you do not control your destiny. The mistakes from your past do not hold authority over your tomorrow. My grace is larger than your failures. Some changes will happen suddenly. One phone call may shift your direction completely. One opportunity may open the door you prayed about for years. One unexpected connection may restore hope you thought was permanently lost. Stay spiritually alert because the season of constant disappointment is ending gradually. Type 1010 to claim miracles. I am healing your heart from wounds you buried deeply inside yourself. Certain experiences changed the way you viewed trust, love, and relationships. You became careful because pain taught you how quickly disappointment can appear. Yet I do not want fear controlling your future. I am restoring your ability to believe in goodness again. Do not be ashamed of the moments when you almost broke emotionally. Your struggle does not make you weak. The battles you carried were heavier than most people understood. Some days you survived only because I strengthened you quietly from within. Even when your faith became small, my presence remained beside you. The enemy tried to convince you that your story had no value. He whispered lies, telling you that your prayers were pointless and your future was empty. But he feared the reward connected to your obedience. He feared what would happen once your faith became stronger than your fear. That is why attacks increased around your mind and emotions. You are entering a period where clarity will begin replacing confusion. The things that once seemed impossible to understand will slowly make sense. Certain painful endings will reveal hidden protection. Certain unanswered prayers will later show wisdom you could not recognize before. I am helping you see your life through a different perspective now. There are people around you who secretly admired your strength, even while you felt broken inside. They watched you survive hardships that would have destroyed others completely. They saw your kindness remain alive after betrayal and disappointment. Your life became proof that endurance still exists in a world filled with bitterness and selfishness. The reward coming toward you includes restoration of peace within your home and mind. Anxiety has tried to control your thoughts for too long. Fear has stolen too many quiet moments from your life. I am breaking those heavy chains slowly because I want your spirit resting in confidence again. Peace will begin entering your life in ways that feel unfamiliar after so much struggle. Do not return to environments that constantly wounded your spirit. Some people only knew how to drain your energy while giving little in return. Others celebrated your weakness because it made them feel stronger about themselves. I am teaching you how to protect your peace without feeling guilty. Your healing matters deeply to me. You have cried over dreams that seemed delayed beyond repair. Some goals felt so distant that you stopped speaking about them completely. Yet I never forgot the desires hidden inside your heart. I planted those hopes within you for a reason. The timing may have changed, but the promise still lives. There are moments ahead that will remind you why you survived every painful season. One day you will look back and realize that what nearly destroyed you actually prepared you for greater strength and deeper wisdom. Your scars will no longer feel meaningless because they will carry testimony of my faithfulness. The pain did not win. You are also being prepared to encourage others through your story. The comfort you longed for during your darkest moments will eventually flow through you toward people who feel hopeless and broken. Your survival carries purpose beyond what you currently understand. I never waste suffering when it is placed into my hands. Type Amen if you still believe. What if attracting wealth didn't require hard work, just the right words? This forgotten prayer is now transforming ordinary people into debt-free, financially free individuals. Scientists say each of these 9 words activates a hidden abundance center deep in your brain. People are using it from home and seeing results in just weeks. It was never meant for the public, and now that it's out, the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. The reward from heaven is not only about receiving blessings, it is also about becoming stronger spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. I am rebuilding areas inside you that fear tried to destroy. I am restoring courage where shame once lived. I am renewing hope where disappointment settled deeply. You have spent enough time doubting whether your future can become beautiful again. The next season will teach you that restoration is real. Joy will return gradually. Peace will return steadily. Strength will rise inside you again. What looked dead is not beyond my ability to restore. Do not compare your journey to the lives of others. Some people appear successful publicly while carrying emptiness privately. I am working on your life in a way that reaches deeper than appearances. I care about the condition of your soul, not just the image others see from outside. That is why your process required patience and transformation. You shocked heaven because you continued choosing faith after repeated disappointment. You kept searching for my voice while confusion surrounded your life. You remained kind while carrying wounds that could have turned your heart cold. Those actions were seen, remembered, and honored before heaven. There were seasons when you felt forgotten by everyone around you. You gave your loyalty to people who eventually walked away. You invested love into relationships that returned pain instead of peace. Those experiences wounded your spirit deeply, and sometimes you wondered if kindness was even worth giving anymore. But your compassion shocked heaven because you kept your heart soft after surviving harsh treatment from others. Type 1111 if you walk by faith. I need you to understand that your obedience carried more power than you realized. Every time you chose honesty over compromise, heaven noticed. Every time you remained patient while life frustrated you, heaven recorded it. Every time you prayed through tears instead of surrendering to hopelessness, your faith created movement in places you could not see. Nothing about your struggle has been meaningless. The enemy worked hard to convince you that your pain would never end. He wanted your heart filled with exhaustion, bitterness, and doubt because he feared your future. He knew there was reward connected to your endurance. He understood that once your season changed, your testimony would become proof of my faithfulness to others who feel broken and forgotten. That is why the pressure around your life became so intense. You have reached a turning point now. The same person who once cried in confusion is slowly becoming stronger in spirit. The same heart that carried fear is beginning to feel peace returning little by little. I am rebuilding your confidence carefully because I do not want your identity tied to pain anymore. Your future cannot grow properly while your heart remains trapped in old wounds. There are blessings approaching your life that will restore what discouragement tried to steal. I am bringing clarity where confusion once lived. I am bringing stability where chaos stayed too long. I am bringing peace into areas of your life that felt emotionally exhausted for years. This season will not look like the painful chapters behind you. Some doors closed because they were never connected to your purpose. You begged for certain situations to work while heaven was protecting you from hidden destruction. If I had allowed some relationships to continue, they would have slowly damaged your confidence and your peace. Certain disappointments were actually acts of mercy, even if you could not understand them at the time. Now wisdom is beginning to rise inside you. You spent too much time blaming yourself for everything that went wrong. You carried guilt over failures, lost opportunities, and broken relationships until the weight became overwhelming. But I am calling you to release that burden now. Your mistakes do not disqualify you from grace. Your past does not hold authority over the future I am preparing for you. Type 777 to receive blessings. There are moments ahead that will remind you why you endured every painful night. You will experience peace in places where anxiety once ruled your thoughts. You will discover joy returning naturally after believing happiness was lost forever. You will wake up one day and realize your spirit no longer feels trapped by old sadness. Healing is already beginning quietly inside you. I know you became tired from carrying emotional weight alone. Many times you stayed silent because you felt nobody would truly understand your pain. You learned how to hide your struggles while continuing to help others around you. But I saw every hidden tear and every moment you nearly gave up completely. I strengthened you in secret when nobody else recognized how exhausted you truly felt. The reward from heaven will also include restoration of your identity. You forgot your value because rejection surrounded you repeatedly. You started measuring your worth through the opinions of people who could never fully understand your heart. But your value was never determined by who left you, ignored you, or failed to appreciate you. Your worth has always been connected to my love for you. There are people who misjudged your silence as weakness. They assumed your kindness meant you lacked strength, yet they never understood how much self-control it took for you to remain peaceful while carrying deep emotional wounds. Heaven honors restraint, humility, and faithfulness far more than loud pride and selfish ambition. Your quiet endurance carried spiritual strength. You are entering a season where hidden truths will become visible. Some people who pretended to support you secretly celebrated your struggles. Others smiled publicly while speaking negatively about you privately. Do not become angry when these truths come into the light. Exposure is necessary because I refuse to let deception follow you into your next chapter. At the same time, I am sending genuine people toward your life. Not everyone around you will carry selfish intentions. There are connections ahead that will bring encouragement, loyalty, wisdom, and peace. You do not have to spend your future surrounded by emotional confusion. I am guiding you toward healthier relationships and safer environments. You have also been carrying fear about your future for too long. Some nights your thoughts became filled with worry about finances, family, health, and unanswered prayers. Fear tried to convince you that disaster waited ahead of you constantly, but I am asking you to trust me again. I did not bring you this far just to abandon you now. The reward coming toward you includes renewed strength for your spirit. You became emotionally drained because you spent too much time surviving instead of resting in my presence. But I am teaching your heart how to breathe again. Peace will begin replacing panic. Confidence will begin replacing fear. Hope will begin replacing exhaustion. Type yes to affirm. Why are neuroscientists calling this a wealth trigger? Because over 19,547 people are already using this 9-word password, and their lives are changing fast. Unexpected deposits, cleared debts, a completely upgraded lifestyle. Scientists say it taps into a 150 million year-old brain system that controls abundance and financial flow. It's already changed the lives of thousands in just weeks. If you're seeing this, you're lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it's gone. Do not let disappointment make you miss the beauty of what is arriving now. Some people become so focused on past pain that they stop recognizing new blessings when they appear. I want your eyes open for the opportunities, peace, and restoration entering your life. The next chapter requires expectation, not fear. You are not forgotten. Forgotten people are not protected through impossible seasons. Forgotten people do not continue surviving attacks designed to destroy them completely. I preserved your life because your purpose still matters. I kept your heart alive because your story is still unfolding. The action that shocked heaven was your refusal to stop believing completely. Even during your darkest moments, a small part of your heart still searched for me. You still prayed through tears. You still hoped quietly for change. That faith, even when fragile, carried enormous power before heaven. I know how many times you felt emotionally exhausted from giving your best while receiving very little in return. You poured love into people who only remembered you when they needed something. You stayed loyal while others became distant and cold. Those experiences left scars deep inside your spirit, but they also revealed the purity of your heart before heaven. Your kindness during suffering became one of the reasons heaven responded to your life so strongly. Type Amen if you believe. You have spent too much time believing that your struggles were signs of abandonment, but I need you to see the truth clearly now. Some battles were allowed because they were shaping wisdom, strength, and spiritual maturity inside you. If life had remained comfortable, certain lessons would never have developed within your heart. Painful seasons created depth inside you that comfort alone could never produce. The reward coming toward you is not temporary excitement that disappears quickly. I am preparing lasting restoration in areas where hopelessness once controlled your thoughts. You have cried enough over situations that drained your peace and weakened your confidence. Now I am beginning a process of rebuilding what fear tried to destroy. Your heart will not stay broken forever. The enemy attacked your mind heavily because he wanted you to doubt your purpose. He filled your thoughts with fear, insecurity, and discouragement because he feared the strength hidden inside your survival. He knew that once you understood your value, you would stop living beneath the calling I placed over your life. That is why confusion tried to follow you constantly. But confusion is losing its grip over you now. Clarity is beginning to rise slowly inside your spirit. You are starting to recognize which voices drained your peace and which relationships weakened your confidence. Discernment is growing within you because I am preparing you for healthier environments and safer connections. Your future requires wisdom that your past pain helped create. There are blessings approaching you that will restore more than material things. I am restoring emotional stability after years of inner chaos. I am restoring confidence after repeated rejection. I am restoring peace inside your home, your thoughts, and your relationships. This next chapter is deeply connected to healing. You became so used to surviving that you forgot what genuine joy feels like. Your mind stayed prepared for disappointment because pain visited your life repeatedly. But I am teaching your spirit how to hope again. Not shallow hope based on temporary feelings, but deep confidence that I am still guiding your future carefully. You are not walking alone. Type 1212 if you trust in Jesus. There were people who walked away from you because they only appreciated you during seasons when you were useful to them. They failed to value your heart, your loyalty, and your sacrifices. Some abandoned you during the moments when you needed support the most. That rejection wounded you deeply, but it also revealed who truly belonged in your life. Separation became protection. Do not carry bitterness toward those who hurt you. Bitterness will only drain the peace I am trying to restore inside you. Release the anger slowly and allow healing to replace it. The people who misunderstood your heart do not control your destiny. Their actions cannot cancel the plans I prepared for your future. You have also spent too much time questioning your own worth because of past mistakes. Certain failures made you feel ashamed and unqualified for blessings, but grace is larger than your worst moments. I already knew every weakness, fear, and failure before calling you forward. Nothing about your brokenness surprised me. The action that shocked heaven was your decision to keep moving forward while carrying emotional wounds nobody else could fully see. You continued praying while feeling tired. You continued loving while carrying disappointment. You continued trusting me even when life looked uncertain. That faithfulness created movement in the spiritual world. There are moments ahead that will suddenly remind you that your waiting season was not wasted. Opportunities will appear unexpectedly. Favor will rise in places where rejection once followed you. Certain people will begin seeing value in you that they ignored before. But most importantly, your own heart will finally begin recognizing the strength I placed inside you long ago. I know the nights became difficult sometimes. Fear whispered thoughts about failure, loneliness, and loss. Anxiety tried to convince you that your future carried only struggle and disappointment. But those lies did not come from me. I have always been leading you toward restoration, even during seasons when your vision became clouded by pain. You survived moments that should have destroyed your peace completely. You carried burdens quietly because you did not want others worrying about you. You smiled while secretly feeling exhausted inside. Yet through every hidden battle, my presence remained beside you. I strengthened your spirit when nobody else knew how close you were to breaking emotionally. Type 777 to receive blessings. Elite 9 word password is quietly transforming people's financial lives. More than 19,000 people have already used it to attract wealth, freedom, and peace. People are using it daily from their couch and reporting real financial breakthroughs. Scientists say it activates deep brain pathways linked to money, working far faster than traditional methods. This was once hidden by elites, and now it's spreading too fast. But the government could take down this secret any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. Now your season is beginning to change. The heaviness that stayed on your heart for so long will not remain forever. I am lifting emotional weight little by little because your soul needs room to breathe again. Peace is entering your life slowly, even if you cannot fully feel it yet. Healing has already started. Do not fear the changes happening around you. Some friendships are fading because they were connected to old versions of yourself that could not follow you into your future. Some habits are breaking because they kept you trapped in emotional exhaustion. Transformation often feels uncomfortable before it becomes beautiful. Trust the process I am guiding you through. There is also restoration coming to your confidence. For too long you doubted your abilities and questioned whether your life truly mattered. But your existence carries purpose beyond what you currently understand. The compassion inside your heart, the wisdom created through suffering, and the endurance developed through hardship all carry meaning. Your story was never pointless. You are entering a season where your prayers will begin receiving clearer answers. Some responses will arrive through opportunities, others will come through peace replacing confusion. Some answers will appear through unexpected people entering your life at the right time. Stay spiritually aware because heaven is moving around your future already. The reward connected to your obedience is not delayed forever. I saw every silent sacrifice you made. I saw every act of kindness done without recognition. I saw every moment you resisted becoming bitter after disappointment. Nothing escaped my attention. Heaven remembers what the world overlooks. One day you will look back on these painful seasons differently. You will realize that what felt like punishment was often preparation. What felt like abandonment was actually protection. What looked like delay was wisdom shaping your future carefully. The story is not ending in sadness. I saw the nights when tears filled your eyes while nobody else knew what you were carrying emotionally. You tried to stay strong for others while secretly feeling weak inside. You continued encouraging people while your own heart longed for comfort and reassurance. That kind of sacrifice did not go unnoticed before heaven. Your willingness to keep loving while hurting deeply shocked heaven more than you realize. Type yes to affirm. The reward connected to your obedience is already being prepared carefully. I am not sending temporary relief that disappears quickly. I am creating deep restoration that will touch your mind, your heart, your relationships, and your future. The healing coming toward your life is connected to every painful moment you survived without completely giving up on me. Your endurance has purpose. Many people around you never understood the battles taking place inside your thoughts. They only saw the version of you that kept functioning every day. They did not see the fear, anxiety, and exhaustion you quietly carried behind closed doors. Yet I saw every hidden struggle clearly. I understood every silent prayer your lips could barely speak because your heart was too tired for words. The enemy wanted your suffering to convince you that you were abandoned forever. He wanted your delays to become proof of hopelessness inside your mind. That is why discouragement attacked you so heavily during lonely moments. But the truth is that your life has always remained under my protection, even when circumstances looked confusing. I never stopped working behind the scenes for your future. There are blessings approaching you that will restore your faith in life again. Certain moments ahead will remind you that goodness still exists. Peace will begin entering places where fear ruled your thoughts for years. Opportunities will appear that feel impossible compared to the struggles behind you. You are not remaining trapped in emotional darkness forever. You spent too much time feeling guilty for being tired. You judged yourself harshly because your emotions became heavy after repeated disappointment. But exhaustion after hardship does not make you weak. You carried burdens that would have crushed many people completely. The fact that you are still standing is evidence of strength already working inside you. I am also healing the wounds created by rejection. Some people made you feel unwanted, unimportant, and easily replaceable. Their actions damaged your confidence and caused you to question your own value repeatedly. But your identity was never supposed to be built on human approval. Your worth has always existed because I created you with purpose, love, and intention. Type 1010 to claim miracles. The action that shocked heaven was your refusal to become bitter after all you experienced. You had reasons to become cold toward people. You had reasons to stop trusting and stop caring. Yet deep inside your heart, compassion still remained alive. Even while hurting, you continued helping others and praying for peace instead of revenge. Heaven honors hearts that remain soft after surviving painful storms. There are also hidden prayers you forgot about that are still alive before me. Some desires inside your heart became so delayed that you stopped speaking about them completely. You convinced yourself those dreams would never happen. But delay does not mean destruction. Some promises simply required the right season before they could safely enter your life. Do not let fear control your decisions now that your season is changing. Sometimes people become so used to pain that they fear happiness when it finally arrives. They expect disappointment even during peaceful moments because struggle became familiar. But I am teaching your spirit how to receive joy without suspicion. You are allowed to experience peace again. You have entered a period where emotional healing will slowly become visible in your daily life. Your thoughts will not feel as heavy as before. The anxiety that followed you constantly will begin losing power. Your heart will start feeling lighter because I am removing emotional weight that stayed on you for too long. Restoration often begins quietly before becoming obvious. There are also people being removed from your life because they cannot follow you into your next chapter. Some only knew how to drain your energy and create confusion around your spirit. Others secretly benefited from your weakness because it made them feel stronger about themselves. I am separating you from unhealthy connections because your peace matters deeply to me. What secret did elites use to attract wealth so easily? A simple 9-word password now leaked to the public. People are using it daily and watching money flow into their lives like never before. Scientists say it activates an ancient brain system tied directly to abundance. Harvard-backed, lab-tested, life-changing. It's already helped thousands become debt-free in just weeks. But this breakthrough is under pressure and may disappear at any second. Click the link in the description and comments before it's gone. At the same time, I am bringing trustworthy people toward you gradually. Not everyone carries hidden motives. There are individuals ahead who will respect your heart, support your growth, and value your presence genuinely. You do not have to spend your future surrounded by emotional instability. Better connections are possible. Type 222 if you trust God. You also need to stop believing the lie that your past mistakes ruined your future permanently. Shame kept you trapped in self-condemnation for too long. You replayed old failures inside your mind until they became chains around your confidence. But my grace is stronger than your regrets. I already knew your weaknesses before calling you forward into purpose. There were moments when you nearly walked away from faith completely because the pressure felt unbearable. You wondered why your prayers seemed delayed while others around you appeared blessed so easily. Comparison became a silent burden inside your thoughts. But your journey was never meant to look identical to someone else's path. I have been shaping your life differently for a reason. The reward coming toward you includes deeper wisdom and spiritual maturity. The pain you survived taught you discernment that comfort alone could never create. You now recognize certain warning signs faster because your experiences sharpened your understanding. The lessons created through hardship will protect your future in ways you cannot fully see yet. I know your heart still carries sadness from certain memories. Some wounds heal slowly because the experiences behind them were deeply painful. But I am walking beside you through the healing process carefully. You are not expected to recover instantly from everything you survived. Healing takes time, and I am patient with your heart. There will come a moment when you suddenly realize how far you have already come. The person you are becoming now is stronger, wiser, and more spiritually aware than the person who first entered these painful seasons. Growth happened quietly while you were busy surviving. Even your tears became part of your transformation. The enemy wanted your story to end in hopelessness. He wanted fear, bitterness, and exhaustion to destroy your future completely. But he failed because my hand remained over your life. Every attack that should have broken you only revealed the strength I placed inside your spirit. Your survival carries testimony. You shocked heaven because you continued seeking me while carrying heavy emotional burdens. You still searched for light while darkness surrounded your thoughts. You still held on to hope when disappointment kept appearing repeatedly. That faithfulness mattered deeply before heaven. There were seasons when your spirit felt worn down from disappointment after disappointment. You tried to stay hopeful, but repeated delays slowly drained your confidence. You became tired of expecting change because pain kept appearing instead of peace. Still, even in those moments, something inside you refused to completely stop believing. That small remaining faith carried more power than you understood. Type Amen if you still believe. The reason heaven responded so strongly to your actions is because your obedience came during pain, not comfort. It is easy for people to trust during easy seasons, but you continued reaching for me while your heart felt broken and exhausted. You kept choosing faith when fear surrounded your thoughts daily. You kept showing kindness while secretly carrying wounds nobody else could see. Heaven pays attention to that kind of endurance. I know how many times you blamed yourself for situations that were never fully your fault. You replayed conversations, mistakes, and painful memories until guilt became heavy inside your spirit. But I am asking you now to release what has been poisoning your peace. Shame cannot heal you. Constant self-punishment cannot restore your future. Grace is what lifts people back into hope again. The reward approaching your life includes freedom from emotional chains that stayed attached to your thoughts for too long. Anxiety has followed you closely because your mind became trained to expect disappointment constantly. Fear made it difficult for you to relax, even during quiet moments. But I am breaking those heavy patterns slowly because your soul deserves peace again. Your heart was not created to live trapped in endless worry. You also need to understand that some painful endings protected you from greater destruction ahead. Certain people could not stay in your life because their presence would have damaged your spirit over time. You cried over relationships that were quietly draining your strength and confidence. At the time, the separation felt cruel and confusing. Later, you will understand it was mercy working behind the scenes. There are opportunities approaching you now that require emotional healing first. If your heart remains trapped in fear, you may struggle to recognize the blessings arriving around you. That is why I am restoring your confidence before opening certain doors completely. Healing is preparation for the future I planned for you. Your next chapter requires a stronger spirit. Type 1111 if you walk by faith. You have spent years surviving emotionally difficult seasons, and survival mode changed the way you viewed life. You became cautious about trusting people. You stopped speaking openly about your dreams because disappointment hurt too deeply. You carried silent loneliness while pretending everything was fine around others. But I never intended for pain to become your permanent identity. The enemy wanted you to believe that your suffering had no meaning. He wanted your tears to become evidence of hopelessness inside your thoughts. But every battle you survived created deeper wisdom, stronger discernment, and greater spiritual maturity inside you. The storms that nearly broke you also prepared you for the responsibilities connected to your future blessings. You are entering a season where peace will begin replacing constant emotional heaviness. Not every day will feel perfect, but your spirit will no longer remain trapped in endless darkness. You will notice moments of calm returning to your thoughts. Joy will begin appearing naturally again, instead of feeling distant and impossible. Healing has already started inside you. There are also financial concerns that have weighed heavily on your mind. You worried about how certain needs would be met and whether stability would ever return to your life. Some nights, fear about the future stole your ability to rest peacefully. But I am already working through situations, people, and opportunities you cannot fully see yet. Provision is being arranged quietly. Why are thousands suddenly becoming financially free? Because they discovered a 9-word wealth password hidden in neuroscience research. People are using it from their couch and reporting unexpected money, cleared debts, and new opportunities. Some say the results feel almost divine. Scientists confirm it activates a powerful, ancient part of your brain linked to wealth and abundance. But now that it's leaked, it won't stay available for long. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. Do not allow fear to convince you that your life will always remain difficult. The season behind you is not the final picture of your future. I am bringing restoration into areas where discouragement tried to settle permanently. What feels impossible to you is not difficult for me. I still open doors no human effort could create alone. Type 777 to receive blessings. You have also been carrying emotional wounds from rejection for too long. Some people treated your loyalty carelessly and made you feel invisible. Others walked away during the moments when you needed support the most. That pain created insecurity inside your heart, and you started questioning whether you were truly valuable at all. But your value never depended on who failed to recognize your worth. I formed you intentionally with purpose already attached to your existence. Your compassion, endurance, and ability to keep loving through pain carry spiritual beauty. The world often overlooks gentle hearts because it celebrates pride and selfish ambition instead. But heaven sees differently. Heaven honors faithfulness, humility, patience, and kindness. The action that shocked heaven was not something loud or public. It was the private decision to keep trusting me after repeated disappointment. It was the quiet prayer you whispered through tears. It was the moment you chose forgiveness instead of revenge. Those hidden acts carried enormous spiritual meaning. I know there were times when exhaustion almost convinced you to stop trying completely. Your spirit became tired from fighting battles that seemed endless. Yet every time you nearly collapsed emotionally, I strengthened you quietly from within. Even when your faith felt fragile, my presence stayed close beside you. That is why you survived seasons that should have destroyed your peace entirely. There are new beginnings ahead of you now. Some changes will arrive unexpectedly and force you to realize your old season is truly ending. Doors that remained closed for years will suddenly begin opening. Certain conversations will create opportunities you never imagined possible before. Stay spiritually aware because heaven is already moving around your future. Type yes to affirm. Do not return to the mindset that says you are forgotten or cursed. Those thoughts came from pain, not truth. Forgotten people are not protected through impossible storms. Forgotten people do not continue receiving strength after repeated emotional battles. I preserved your life because your story still carries purpose and meaning. The next chapter of your life will not only change circumstances around you, it will also transform the person inside you. Confidence will begin replacing fear. Peace will begin replacing emotional chaos. Wisdom will begin guiding your choices more clearly. The healing happening within your spirit will eventually affect every area of your life. You will also discover that some delays were necessary because your heart needed preparation before receiving certain blessings. If everything arrived earlier, emotional wounds could have caused you to mishandle what was given to you. Timing mattered more than you understood. What felt frustrating at the time was often protection and preparation working together. One day you will look back and realize that your survival itself became a miracle. The fact that you remained standing after everything you endured is evidence of my hand over your life. Many people would have surrendered to bitterness, hopelessness, or fear under the same pressure. But you kept searching for light even while walking through darkness. You have spent so much time carrying invisible burdens that you almost forgot what it feels like to breathe without pressure sitting on your chest. Every day became a battle between faith and exhaustion. You tried to stay hopeful while disappointment kept appearing in different forms around your life. Still, despite the heaviness you carried, your heart continued searching for me. That quiet decision to keep believing through pain became one of the reasons heaven responded so strongly to your life. I saw the moments when loneliness surrounded you, even while people stood physically near you. You smiled during conversations while secretly feeling emotionally disconnected inside. There were nights when you wished someone truly understood the depth of your struggles without you needing to explain every detail.